Welcome back, everybody, to the Insightful Podcast. We gain insight in order to move forward in life. Today, we are going to be speaking about mindset versus mood set. Why your emotions don't always tell you the truth. You guys know how I like to get into this podcast. 5 points, go through all of them, and that's it. So let's get straight into it. Also, I hope you guys like the new camera quality because there has been an upgrade. So the episodes from now will have much better quality. But without further ado, let's get into this. Remember, mood is temporary, mindset is trained. Your mood can shift in minutes. A bad night's sleep, a rough comment, or low energy can throw you completely off. But mindset is the lens you've trained for yourself to see the world through. It's stable and long term. Don't let a bad mood override a strong mindset. This is the reality. A lot of times you're going to wake up, you're not going to want to do what you need to do. You're going to feel lazy. You're going to feel undisciplined, unmotivated. But if you're able to frame your mindset in the frame of, I do this no matter how I feel, these are things that just need to be completed, then you will be able to go through your day and get everything done and not rely on how you feel that day. Because in the beginning of self-improvement, a lot of people will only ever do work or better their life when they feel like they want to. But the reality is most of the time you are not going to feel like you want to. There are so many times I wake up every single day and I don't want to go to the gym. Sometimes that lasts a week, sometimes that lasts a couple days, right? So if that's the case, if I just went off my mood, I would not be going to the gym for a whole entire week and I'd be missing a week of progress. So it's super important to train your mindset to be strong in those moments so that you don't fall off. The next point is emotions lie, but they're trying to help. Feelings aren't facts, they're signals, not commands. Learn to decode them without blindly obeying them. Just because you feel unworthy doesn't mean you are. The reality is, going back to this other example and kind of going deeper on it, is that if you are just feeling so drained for a whole week that you can't seem to get up and go to the gym, maybe it's because you've overtrained yourself, But the only way to actually understand if that is the case is to kind of reflect on what you've been doing. If you're someone that doesn't like to take rest days and you've been training for 14 days straight, maybe that's why your body's so exhausted, right? So you need to analyze these things. A lot of the times your emotions are just signals. They're just a symptom of how you feel about other things, right? If you're someone that feels lost and doesn't know what direction to go in, that is because you haven't found it yet. That is why you feel lost, right? There's nothing wrong with your emotions. There's nothing wrong with feeling them. It's just understanding why they're there, decoding them, and getting, I guess, a result from it, right? The third point is mindset builds structure for your mood swings. When you've trained your mind, even bad moods have a place. A strong mindset gives structure when emotions feel chaotic. It acts as an anchor so you don't drift away with every wave. The reality is that sometimes you're going to feel very excited and motivated to do the things you need to do to improve your life, and other times you are not going to, right? If you're able to have a strong mindset and understand that these times will come, because people want to say, I'm going to go to the gym every single day, I'm going to feel great about it, and I'm going to lose a bunch of weight, and I'm going to make a bunch of progress, build a bunch of muscle. But the reality is that if you could go into a new goal that you set for yourself and understand that I'm going to be aware that there's going to be times I don't feel like doing this, right? If you're able to kind of go in with that mindset, you'll be prepared for when those times come. Because a lot of people don't understand that it's not always going to be sunshine and rainbows, right? Even with your passions, I love the podcast. I love going to the gym. I love making content, but there are plenty of times that I don't even want to do that, right? And that's my passion. So I remember growing up, I always thought I want to do something that no matter what day it is, I always feel motivated to do it. I always feel like this is what I'm meant to do. But that is not the case. Even the things you love the most, there are going to be times when you don't want to do it, right? Just, maybe a sport you play, maybe it's soccer, you love soccer, but then there's days when your friends tell you, hey, let's go play, and you don't even want to go, right? So it's just understanding that you're always going to be in a different mood. Sometimes you're not always going to be in a positive mindset. And negative mindsets and negative moods sometimes can be a benefit to you because you could kind of learn something from it. You can learn why you're feeling that way and how to overcome it. It's actually something I learned recently, is that there is a time and a place to be negative because, as long as it doesn't spiral over a long period of time, you're able to kind of take something away from that, and maybe it could teach you a lesson that you haven't, realized before. So I think it's super important to kind of just have an open mind with all your emotions and all your feelings, and kind of just let them pass and let them be there, and not let them dictate everything in your life and every decision you make. A mood set follows lifestyle, mindset follows vision. Your mood is influenced by your sleep, diet, stress, and environment. Your mindset is shaped by values, beliefs, and goals. One is physical and reactive, the other is mental and proactive. I could give you guys the best example, right? I was fasting every Friday this Lent season for 24 hours, not eating any food, right? And after the first 2 weeks, I actually realized that I was very negative on those fasting days. I was very irritated on those days. And I realized, okay, I'm only feeling this way because I have not ate for this amount of period of time, however many hours in I was into the fast. And once you realize that, kind of able to accept the fact that next time it happens, you will be prepared for it. And it will be like, oh, it's just because I'm fasting. I remember I was speaking to my brother about it, and I said, oh, Friday, I'm definitely going to feel a little more irritated and a little more annoyed. So I'm going to catch myself before I say something to someone that I didn't mean, or, rub off that energy to someone else. Because I am aware of it, I'm able to not let it spiral out of control for that day, right? So you need to understand that your moods are always dependent on your lifestyle. You might be very frustrated and annoyed just because you didn't get a lot of sleep last night, and that's okay. But just be aware that a lot of the times being in a bad mood is just a symptom of something else. The final point is the power of choosing thought over feeling. Teach You need to, I guess, ask yourself these questions. What do I believe instead of how do I feel? Training this distinction allows people to act based on intention rather than reaction, right? It's so many times, if you're a positive person, but a lot of things have been going wrong for you, and you're just not feeling the best, you need to ask yourself, what do I believe? Go back to your values, go back to the way you want to live your life and how you view life in general, right? Because in those moments, that is not really you. It is just a symptom of some bad things going on, right? So don't sometimes focus too much on, you know, if you're someone that didn't get a lot of sleep, your diet's out of whack, everything's kind of going wrong. Don't lose vision of the goals that you set out months ago, or the goals you set out from when you were a little kid that you wanted to achieve, and just give up on them, right? Just because you were in a bad mood for a couple days. See past these days. Understand that your feeling of anger, your feeling of sadness is not going to be there forever. And the best way to, I guess, realize that and not let it get to you is there's plenty of times you felt like that in the past, and a couple days later you don't feel like that anymore, right? So don't harp on these emotions too much, because that's when it'll kind of spiral and you'll maybe make the wrong decision and give up on something that you really cared about, right? I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. That is all I got for today. I appreciate you guys staying this long, if you did tune in this long. And if you guys enjoyed the video, remember to like, comment, subscribe, follow on Spotify, and let me know any other topics you'd like me to speak about in the future. I think it's very important to never lose sight of your vision, even when things are going wrong and even when your emotions are going through a roller coaster. Just always try to remain vigilant and always try to remain vision based when it comes to your goals and not let your emotions dictate if you're going to quit them or not. Thank you, everybody, for listening and making it this far, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode.
Crush a cold to a diamond, eyes forever shining. Your beauty alone inspire a nigga to rhyming.